Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the stage the 3 graduate student MasterCard Foundation Scholars of this first cohort, to this, all of whom live at iHouse, to further share their perspectives on this program and to present the Global Foundation for Peace recognition.
Good evening. I'm Narissa Alabai. I'm from Kenya, and I'm currently doing my Master of Development Practice at UC Berkeley.
Hi, I'm Mana from Ghana, and I'm also part of the Masters of Development Program.
Hello, I'm Aisha Shigongo. I'm from Uganda, and I'm doing my Master's in Information Management and Systems. Welcome to the International House. In Swahili, I would say, Karibu Nyumbani. We are thrilled to be here on behalf of UC Berkeley and the International House to recognize the MasterCard Foundation for its amazing generosity. I want to ask the scholars to stand up. The MasterCard Foundation is enabling us to have this great education and also allowing us an opportunity, we 3, to live here at the International House. What does the International House mean to us? I'll briefly take maybe a second to tell you something that I discovered a few minutes ago before we seated the guests. One of the hosts were having a brief conversation, and I asked him, I've known him for maybe since last semester, so I asked him where he's from. He told me Newfoundland. It's probably not that, because I knew Newfoundland. It was just amazing that I was meeting somebody from there. I'd never thought about it. I just thought it was someplace in my geography school, or rather class. So that's what International House means to us.
At this point in time, we would like to invite Reeta Roy to the stage. On behalf of UC Berkeley and International House, we are honored to present this recognition to you.
This limited 50th anniversary iHouse poster, created in 1979 by renowned Berkeley-based artist David Lance Goins, who is not with us tonight, bears a plaque that reads, "The MasterCard Foundation, 2013 Global Foundation for Peace, for advancing opportunity and educational access as the basis for a world of greater understanding." International House at UC Berkeley, April 18th, 2013.
Thank you very much. So good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be here this evening, and it is with such a pleasure to receive this award on behalf of the foundation, particularly from 3 wonderful young women who are going to change the world. And so the first thing I have to say is thank you so much for having us here. Bob, Mary Catherine, Hans, you have Martha, you have a tremendous team, which is making so many amazing things happen here at iHouse. Dipali Khanna, my colleague, who is with me today, and I have three other colleagues I'd like to recognize. Dr. James Mwangi from Equity Group Foundation, Dr. Helen Gichohi also from Equity Group Foundation, and Fred Swanica from the founder of the African Leadership Academy. I'm also very, very pleased that you could be here with me because we're all part of the same family and the same team. So I'd like to thank you. I also have to say what a pleasure it was to meet tonight Ambassador Taylor and Dr. Taylor. I think your story is a story of great courage as well as great ingenuity during a moment of crisis. And you do Canada proud. So, Bob, you're right. It is Canada's night tonight. It is Canada's night tonight. So I just have a few words and a story to share. And the story I'd like to share is about a young man who I had the great honor of meeting a year ago. His name is Joseph Munyabanza. And Joseph grew up, he was from the DRC, from the Democratic Republic of Congo. By the age of 6, he fled the Congo, and he grew up in the Changwali refugee camp in Uganda. Times were really difficult, and you could say that the conditions in that camp were inhospitable. But what Joseph told me was that his leadership journey began in that camp. And so at the age of 14, Joseph and several of his friends started up an NGO to help provide education to other young children in that camp. And today this NGO works in several other countries. It connects youth from across Africa. And Joseph himself, because of this work, won a scholarship. And he went to the African Leadership Academy. When I mentioned a moment ago, Fred Swanica, who's the founder of that academy, is here tonight with us. Joseph today is pursuing his dream to go to medical school. And I'm so proud to say that he is a MasterCard Foundation Scholar. At our... So when you honor us tonight, you really are honoring Joseph, you're honoring Lillian, you're honoring Aisha, Narisa, and Mana, and the other students who are here. At our foundation, we feel especially privileged that we have an opportunity to accompany these young leaders, and they already are leaders for what they have overcome. That we, for this period of time in their life, that we have an opportunity to accompany them as they discover who it is they are, what it is they want to do with their lives, define the purpose for which they will pursue their lives, and to make something of this world. We are a very young foundation. We were founded in 2006, at the time when MasterCard Worldwide, the company, became a public company and had the foresight to take a percentage of that wealth from that IPO and endow our foundation. And they did not only provided us the gift of those resources, which have grown tremendously, but they also provided us the gift of independence so that our governance structure and our management structure is completely separate from the company. This allows us to pursue soul-heartedly our vision, and our vision of a world where all people have an opportunity to learn and prosper. And I can think of no better vision and to express that vision in the form of education. We know that when young people have an opportunity to learn, to expose themselves to new ideas, to each other, to work across all forms of boundaries, not just geographic boundaries, but also cultural boundaries, ethnic boundaries, that we achieve the word which was on that page, on the slide a moment ago, peace, and particularly given the times that we live in today. Early on, our foundation made a decision that we would concentrate the vast majority of our resources on Africa, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa. I've had the opportunity to travel across the continent for the past 20 years, and I have to say this has to be one of the most dynamic, exciting, engaging parts of the world. Not only is it, as you have all read, one of the second fastest growing region in the world, but it has a vibrancy and an energy like nothing else. At the same time, it is one of the youngest, indeed it is the youngest continent in the world, 600 million people under the age of 25. And if growth is to be sustained, then gaps, especially gaps in education, have to be closed. And so this program is more than just about educating people. It is absolutely about creating leaders, leaders who will be principled, leaders who will be guided by values, and values about making this world a much more compassionate, empathetic, and probably much more habitable place. So in conclusion, I want to really thank iHouse. I want to thank Berkeley. I want to thank the Chancellor for your tremendous leadership. I felt the moment that we connected and when we spoke that there was a profound alignment on values. Values around education, but certainly values about making this world a much, much better place. I love your motto, that the future lives here. And I think indeed the future lives in all of us, and it is expressed by the choices that we make in terms of how we want to contribute. So thank you ever so much for this honor. It is a great pleasure to be here and to experience what it is to be at iHouse. Thank you for opening up your home to us. Thank you.